Guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will understand what is HTTP streaming. We will look at some practical implementations of HTTP streaming. Also, we will look why HTTP streaming is used. Then after completing the theory part, we will move on to the practical part where we will write code about what we have learned about HTTP streaming. And then finally, we will end the video with a proper knowledge of HTTP streaming. So let's get started. Before understanding HTTP streams, let us quickly look at typical client-server architecture. This is client, this is server, and this is the database. Suppose the client wants to access data from the database. To access the data, it must send GET request to the server. So it sends GET request to the server. The server will then retrieve data from the database, and then finally the server will respond data back to the client. Now you might be asking, what is the problem here? Client wants data from the server and ultimately it is getting that data. The problem here is not about the data, but how long it takes to get the data. Suppose client requests data to the server at time t1 and gets the data back at time t2. Here, the difference between t1 and t2 can be about 10 to 15 seconds depending on how large the data is. In some cases, if the data is very huge, then server will take longer time to retrieve the data from the database, and hence the client might have to wait for about 40 to 45 seconds. The problem here is that the client has to stay idle doing nothing until it gets data from the server. In this situation, HTTP streams comes into play. If in this situation HTTP streams is used, then client does not have to wait for longer time. Using HTTP streams, server will frequently send data back to the client as the data is being retrieved from the database. So instead of waiting for 40 to 45 seconds, clients retrieve data frequently in short time intervals. Before moving to the practical coding part, let me discuss one more thing with you. So this is your server and this is your client. Now the whole idea of HTTP streams is that the server will keep sending data to the client in certain time intervals. So it will send one data and then again it will send another data and it will continue sending data to the client. Now it sends data to the client, but not only that, it also sends one more thing or one more parameter called done. So done represents if any more data is left to come from the server. So when I'm in the client side, I need to know if more data is coming from the server or not. And to know that, I can take help of done parameter. So if done parameter is false, then no more data is left to come from the server. And if the done parameter is true, then it says that all the data from the server has already been taken by the client and there is no more data to be received from the server. So once you know this, now let us move on to the coding part. So I will open my terminal. So let me open my terminal, and inside my terminal, I will go to the projects directory. Now let me create a directory called YouTube video 01, and let me go inside that directory, YouTube video 01, and let me open that in the VS Code. So okay, my directory has been opened in the VS Code. Now what I want to do is, I want to create a Next.js application, and in that Next.js application, we'll be creating an API route where we will handle all HTTP streams, and also we'll create a client side where we will receive the stream data from the server side. So let us create our Next.js application. To create an Next.js application, we need to execute this command, create next app, and we want the latest version. So npx is the command that will be used to create next app. If you don't have Node.js installed in your machine, then this command won't work. Please install Node.js and then run this command. So once you run this command, several things will be asked, like what is the name of your project. I want all the files to be in this directory itself. So I'm going to put a period sign and I want all default settings. So okay, my command has been executed successfully. So now after creating our Next.js application, now we need to create an API route. So first of all, let us see our package.json. So we have React install, React DOM, and we have TypeScript dependencies. Okay, everything is fine. So now I want to create an API route. So to create API route, we need to go inside app directory, and in this directory, we need to create an API. And inside this, we can create whatever name we want for our endpoint to be. So in this case, I want my endpoint to be named as AI stream. And if I create a route.ts file inside this directory, then this will be my route. So whenever I hit the API as localhost, whatever the port, /API/AI stream, then this is the file that will be executed. Now in this file, we'll be writing our code. So let us create a function. So this function will be obviously asynchronous function and get method. So whenever you hit this API endpoint with get method, then this is the function that will be created. Now here we want to create a stream. To create stream, we have a class called readable stream. So readable stream. So we created, in this way, we have created object of readable stream class. Now we need to pass several things. Now, and obviously readable stream is a web standard API that lets you send data piece by piece instead all of once. So instead of sending every data at once to the client, we are sending data one by one at certain time interval to the client. And this is the class, or this is the web interface API that will be used. Now we need to pass a function, and the name of the function should be start. So you can see start, and we need to pass a parameter called controller. Now what is this controller? So controller is something that we use to push data into the stream. So obviously we need to push data onto the stream, and then we'll send the stream to the client side. And in this way, we will implement HTTP stream. Basically, just understand that controller is used to push data on the stream. Obviously, you will understand this as we write code below, but for now, just understand that controller is used to push data to the stream. Now, let us write code inside this function. Now, I want to create an array of messages. So let me copy and paste an array of messages that I have already created. So this is the array of messages that we will be sending to the client side. So first of all, we'll send this message, then we'll send this message, and so on. So now let us loop through this messages array. So for const messages, or each message in messages, and what I want to do is, now one thing is that I cannot send this plain text to the client side. Instead, what I have to do is I have to convert this plain text to the byte format. Now to convert into byte format, we have a class called text encoder. And we have created object of text encoder, and we can use a method called encode, and we'll pass each message. So in this way, we are converting this plain text of message to byte format. And obviously, to convert into byte, we use text encoder, whereas to convert back into text, we use text decoder. Now we've converted this plain text to byte format. Now remember, I told controller is used to push data to the stream. So now we'll be using controller, and controller has a method called enqueue, which is used to push whatever the byte into the stream. And now what we're going to do is, now we will send each of these messages to the client every 500 millisecond interval. So let us create a promise. So await new promise, and when this resolves, I want to set timeout as 500 milliseconds. So this gives a delay effect for 500 milliseconds. So in this way, we've created a promise which will send each byte of messages to the client side every 500 millisecond. But we have not closed the controller yet. We need to close the controller. So to close the controller, let us come outside of this for loop and close the controller. Now, what if we don't close the controller? Remember I told you that whenever we send data to the client side, we send two things. One is the data itself and another is the done parameter. So when we close the controller, the done parameter will be true, which indicates that every data has been sent successfully to the client side. Now, after we close the controller, now we need to send this stream to the client side, or we need to send this stream as a response. So let us store this stream in the variable called stream. Now let us send a Next.js response. So new next response, new response, which comes from Next server, and then we need to send the stream. So we are sending stream of messages every 500 milliseconds, and let us create headers. Headers will be content type. Content type will be application JSON. No, sorry, plain text. This is the array of messages which is in plain text format. So this, we have created our route.ts. Now this will send stream of messages to the client side. Now, as we've created our backend, let us quickly create frontend or client side. So I'm going to come out of this directory, and here we have a paste.txt. Let us do everything in paste.txt itself. So let me clear out this default code that we get from the Next.js. And here what I'll be doing is, so here I will paste some boilerplate code. So here I have pasted some boilerplate code. So this is a div, and we have a button and a paragraph tag. So there is a button called start AI stream, and whenever user clicks start AI stream button, then handle stream function will run, which will obviously create, and then we will, from handle stream function, will receive text and then display it in this paragraph tag. So first let us create this function handle AI stream, and we don't need this next image now. So first of all let us create a use state for text. So text set text use state, and let us keep default as empty string. Now let us create the function handle stream. So const handle stream equals to arrow function. Now let us invoke this route, or let us hit this API endpoint. So to hit this API endpoint, we will do await fetch, and we need to pass the API path. So /API/AI stream, and then this is the GET request. So this will be default, and we will store the response in variable res. Now this is await. Obviously we need to mark this function as asynchronous. Now what we need to do is, we have a response from this endpoint. Now when we receive HTTP stream, we have a special method called getReader, which is inside response.body.getReader. So this is the method that we can access from response.body, and let us store this in the variable const reader. So okay, we have reader. Now what we need to do is, obviously from this backend we have sent the data as encoded, which is in the byte format. Now to display in this paragraph tag, we need to convert that byte back to the text format. So we need a decoder. So new text decoder, and let us store this in the variable decoder. Now let me create a while loop, because obviously we will be getting data at every 500 milliseconds from the backend. So I need to create a while loop. So while true, as I told you, from the backend I will get two things. One is done, which indicates if all the data has been sent from the server, and another is the data itself, which is in the variable value. So await reader dot read. And obviously this reader will be optional, or I can say this will obviously. Now if done is true, which means that all the data has been received from the server, then we want to exit this loop. And if there is more data that is coming from the server, then I need to update my state. So set state. Now I need to, in my previous value, I need to append the new text. So this is whatever this is the previous value. And in previous value, I need to decode the data that is coming from the server, because from the server we have the byte format data. So we need to decode that. So the data is in value variable, and we need to set stream as true. So here what we're doing is that from the backend we're not getting raw text, we're getting byte format. So whatever we're getting is in this variable called value. So we're decoding that value so that we can visualize in plain text format, and we're setting stream parameter as true. So let us run our Next.js application. So to run our Next.js application, we'll do npm run dev. Okay, my Next.js application has been started on port 3000. So let us open this. Obviously takes some time at the beginning, and we have a problem. Okay, the problem we are facing is that we have used useState, but by default our page will be in server side. So we need to convert this into client side. So to do that, we need to use client. So let us reload this once again. Okay, so now let us open inspect. Let us open our console. Obviously we do not even need to open our console. We have printed everything in the paragraph tag itself. So let us click this button, and when we click this button, our backend should send these data at 500 milliseconds, and we should be able to see that. So let us click this button and let us observe the magic happening. Okay, you can see all the data is coming at every 500 milliseconds. So obviously if I click this again, I'll get the same data again. So let us see this again. So hello there. Okay, so we first, I think hello there was coming in the beginning, then we received this is stream response, then we received this text from the backend. So every time we're receiving chunk of data from the backend at fixed time interval. So this was all about HTTP streams. So HTTP streams is all about sending data continuously from backend to the client, and from the client we can read the data in this way. To access the code, you can click the link that I have provided in the description, and I'll also pin the link in the comment section. So when you click the link, you will land up in this web page, and from here you can access the code. So this is a platform that I have created to access all the code from my YouTube tutorials, and also you can further explore this platform to learn any new topic. This is a platform that I have specially designed for learners that want to learn in the first principle way. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.